Welcome to our channel Rakshak. Today we are discussing nuclear brinkmanship. By nuclear brinkmanship, I want to say that nuclear war is at the doorstep of world. In last fortnight, you have seen the war between Israel and Iran, where United States jumped abruptly and dramatically came out of the war also. So this 12-day war, which lasted between Israel and Iran, is crucial to understand the nuclear brinkmanship in the world, which means that nuclear race is going to be the race among the great powers. As after World War II, we had the phase of we had period of Cold War. By Cold War, I mean to say that all the superpowers of the countries were amassing weapons, missiles, and weapons of mass destruction. So now this Cold War period is over. Almost more than 3 years have passed, and the war between Russia and Ukraine is going on. Russia has threatened time and again that I will use nuclear weapons if NATO enters into the war to aid and help Ukraine. So, similarly, when the war between Israel and Iran was going on, United States jumped into it, targeted 3 of its nuclear installations, with the help of bunker busting bombs weighing almost 13,000 kg. So first of all, we would like to now learn the map of Israel, which shows on the northern side Golan Heights, on the eastern side West Bank, on the western side Gaza Strip, bordered by Jordan and Egypt, both on southeastern and southwestern side. So this West Bank area is in occupation with Palestine since 1967, and Gaza Strip, which has got 20 lakh population, mostly Palestinian, which has been controlled by Hamas since 2016. Now is at the verge of diffused Hamas state, because Hamas has been neutralized. 56,000 persons, that is Palestinians, including children, have been killed and many more injured. So now the question is, what is going to happen in near future? Experts have the opinion that Israel is going to control this whole territory. And this will become Jewish state. Israel has population of Jewish. They are in majority, 75%. So Gaza city has got population of Palestinian. They are Sunni and Shia Muslims. But Israel's chief leader Netanyahu and United States leader Donald Trump, probably before the next election, you will find that Gaza city will be obliterated from the map and it will become a complete Jewish state. Of course, Palestinians may live here, but they will be second-class citizens. So this is what we have tried to explain to you with the help of this map. Now coming to the point, our topic is nuclear brinkmanship. By nuclear brinkmanship, you must understand that there is instability in the world as far as nuclear race is going on. The war between Israel and Iran is now temporarily stopped because of the sudden and dramatic ceasefire declared by the United States. You know that Iran was struck by on nuclear facilities by United States. Nobody is interested now that whether there are dangers of radioactive leak or what will be the subsequent responses, how these radioactive leaks will be tackled. And in the present era, nobody is interested for international order. West Asia to Ukraine and even the Indian subcontinent, there is risk of nuclear threat. Iran was signatory to NPT. By NPT, I mean to say Non-Proliferation Treaty. Non-Proliferation Treaty is the treaty which believes in the philosophy that nuclear weapons will not be manufactured. Nuclear power will be used for peaceful purposes. And Iran was also signatory to Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action with P5. P5 means permanent 5 members and one nuclear armed state plus Germany. P5 members are your United States, United Kingdom, Russia, China, France, and Germany. These 6 were members of the Joint Comprehensive Action Plan of Action, in which Iran had given word, promise that my nuclear installations are subject to inspection. Any nuclear agency, including the World Nuclear Agency, that is International Atomic Nuclear Agency, can inspect my nuclear programs. But in spite of having these two Iranian deals with the international superpowers and NPT, the United States hit nuclear installations of Iran. So now the question is that the Israel has also got the nuclear weapon, but they are not signatory to the NPT. They have not signed a treaty with the NPT, which means that their nuclear weapon is not for peaceful purpose. Their nuclear weapon is also for military purpose, for destructive purpose. US protection emboldens Israel to pursue destructive policies in Gaza and illegal wars in West Asia. Combined with the Russian threat to use nuclear weapons to deter conventional aggression by NATO following its Ukraine invasion, these actions reveal how the renewed competition among the great power and their cynical understanding of deterrence are dismantling global stability. On the one side, Russia is threatening the whole world that I will use my nuclear weapons. On the second side, America has jumped into the war between Israel and Iran and devastated three nuclear capabilities. It is the same America which has used nuclear bomb in 1945 against Japan in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. At that time, America had gone to throw the bombs, nuclear bombs, atomic bombs. Now, after 80 years, if you see it was 1945, today it is 2025. After 80 years, same America is now using bombs to destroy the nuclear capability of Iran because there is threat of nuclear capability from Iran not only to Israel but also to the America. The idea of nuclear disarmament is in tatters. In tatters means जैसे चिथड़े हो जाना. As the nuclear weapon states continue to expand and modernize their arsenal, while non-proliferation treaty is under threat as other countries turn to nuclear weapon to safeguard themselves. Without a renewed diplomatic impetus to re-establish international norms on conflict, a stronger push for disarmament among all nuclear armed states, and firm commitment to uphold the NPT, the world risks sliding into a new era of nuclear brinkmanship that could prove more dangerous than Cold War's darkest moment. वर्ल्ड वार टू के बाद हम पूरा का पूरा वर्ल्ड कोल्ड वार में घुस गया. कोल्ड वार का मतलब है कि सब ने अपने अपने हथियार बनाने शुरू कर दिए, अपनी मिसाइल्स बनानी शुरू कर दी, अपना न्यूक्लियर वेपन जनरेट करने शुरू कर दिए, अपनी डिफेंसिव कैपेबिलिटी बढ़ानी शुरू कर दी. But the period which is now being witnessed is more dangerous than Cold War because now the superpower wants to have nuclear weapon with themselves, whereas the powers, that is the small countries, which do not have much safeguards, United States want to destroy their nuclear capabilities. So this is the first article we have addressed. On the same pattern, we have another article on the subject. A reset in West Asia. A de-escalation for the world. जो न्यूक्लियर बम को डिस्ट्रॉय किया गया है उसके कारण वेस्ट एशिया की जियोपॉलिटिक्स चेंज हो गई है और डी एस्केलेशन इज द मंत्र टुडे. T.S. Murthy, Trimurthy, written by T.S. Trimurthy. He is former Secretary of Minister External Affairs in charge, inter alia of West Asia, and former representative of India to the Palestinian Authority in Gaza. पैलेस्टीन के अंदर जो है पैलेस्टीन का इंपॉर्टेंट लीडर था यासिर अराफात. India used to believe in the two-state theory, that is, Israel should have separate land and Palestine should have separate land earlier. But now our policy is also changing. We'll discuss later. So what is happening now in West Asia? What is happening now in West Asia? West Asia has been reset with bombing of Iran by Israel and United States. It has done with the tacit approval और ओपन अप्रूवल ऑफ ऑलमोस्ट ऑल कंट्रीज इन द रीजन एंड बियॉन्ड. वो कहते हैं पूरा वर्ल्ड इसमें इन्वॉल्व है. इट इज नॉट यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स. एवरी कंट्री इन द वर्ल्ड इज इन्वॉल्व. यूरोपियंस आर आल्सो इन्वॉल्व. दे डू मेक नॉइज बट दे डू नॉट मेक concrete efforts in stopping the US. Even Russia and China, which had signed comprehensive strategic partnership agreement with Iran in January 25 and March 21, were silent spectators to this event. They did not denounce United States that this is against the international order. They are silent spectators. It is not that these countries were helpless. They made a conscious decision not to interfere when Iran and its proxies are being dismantled in the region. जब ईरान की न्यूक्लियर फैसिलिटीज के ऊपर अमेरिका ने बंकर बस्टिंग बम मारे, 13,000 किलोग्राम का एक बंकर बस्टिंग बम है. B-2 बॉम्बर्स एरोप्लेन यूज किए गए. तो उसने ईरान के साथ साथ उसकी प्रॉक्सीज here are three basically proxies. What are those three proxies? हिजबुल्लाह, हुदीज एंड हमास. उनको भी साथ साथ में डिसमेंटल किया है. Now, as on date, in West Asia, there is only Israel, which is a dominant nuclear power. Israel has got 40,000 American troops, which are aiding in air and sea assets to Israel. They will make sure that there is no more military challenge to Israel. West Asia will now with this reality. अब जो है वेस्ट एशिया में न्यूक्लियर पावर कौन बचा है? केवल इजराइल बचा है. और 40,000 अमेरिकन ट्रूप्स जो हैं अमेरिका के इजराइल में बैठे हुए हैं, जो हवाई और समुद्री रास्ते से इजराइल को मदद करते हैं उसकी मिलिट्री कैपेबिलिटीज बढ़ाने के लिए. Initially, the Gulf and other countries of the West Asia feared, probably rightly, Iran and its proxies as much as the Israelis. The Iranian strategic and military depth in the region, when seen through the prism of political ideology, made it the prominent threat in the region. What is political ideology? Means the Muslim ideology in the Gulf region was basically perceived as threat. In some ways, presence of an aggressive Iran made the Gulf countries soft pedal and even make compromises on many other issues which the region has been plagued with, including Palestine. So they needed Israel and United States. All the Gulf countries, that is Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, they wanted the Israel and United States to checkmate Iran. What do you mean by checkmate? Checkmate का मतलब to cut it to the size, so that Iran should not act as a big boss in the West Asia. Now Iran has been cut to size, which only encouraged Israel to go all the way out to dismantle Iranian proxies, both state and non-state actor in Lebanon, Syria and Gaza. The threat has receded except perhaps of the Houthis in Yemen and militias in the Iraq. Almost ये जो थ्रेट है ये खत्म हो चुकी है. केवल हुदीस जो यमन में बचे हैं और जो इराक में मिलिशियास हैं. मिलिशियास का मतलब क्या होता है? मीन्स दोज हु फाइट फॉर मनी. Those who fight for the money, they are known as militias. They are left. Gulf countries have been busy building bridges with the United States administration and waiting to operationalize Abraham Accord, which normalized their relation with Israel. They have made US President Donald Trump happy by doing out goodies, but with the cutting down of Iran to size in West Asia, Do they relish the prospect of an Israel without any checks? अब ईरान को हम अमेरिका ने एक छोटे साइज में बना दिया है, उसकी न्यूक्लियर कैपेबिलिटीज ऑलमोस्ट पीछे धकेल दी है. इट विल टेक लॉन्ग टाइम नाउ टू डेवलप द न्यूक्लियर कैपेबिलिटीज, बट नाउ Israel has become powerful. So the scenario is, earlier there was two powers in the West Asia, Israel and Iran. So there was balance or vulnerability from both the sides. But now the Gulf countries are feeling again pinch that Israel is now more powerful. Iran dropped missiles at Qatar. Qatar is also an air base. Qatar is also an United States base in West Asia where 10,000 American soldiers live. So this was in retaliation to the bombs being thrown by America on nuclear installation, nuclear facilities of Iran. So why America came into the ceasefire? Because Qatar mediated between the ceasefire of Israel, United States, and Iran. Qatar came into the picture. Had the Iran or United States or Israel not accepted this ceasefire, then the things would have gone out of control. And definitely it would have pinched the United States also, because there are a number of bases of United States in this region, in Saudi Arabia, in Qatar, in Pakistan, in Israel. So if you look at the map, then this pinch would have been felt by the America too. For Iran's leadership, it is an existential crisis. For the Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei leadership, surrendering or keeping quiet in the face of these attacks are not options if they must survive politically. So Ayatollah Khamenei is the supreme leader, the religious leader. So surrender is not in their habit, and if they have to survive politically, they must continue their warmongering exercises. According to the writer, this war with Iran is still a work in the progress for Israel and US. This is a temporary halt. This is a temporary halt, temporary ceasefire. It is not going to halt here. It will continue. It will be Syria type on Iran. What happened in the Syria? There was civil war and then there was change of regime. सिविल वार हुई और बाद में तख्ता पलट दिया गया. Similarly here they are also looking for the regime change, which will definitely happen. But what happens after regime change? As it happened in Libya, it leads to Islamic fundamentalism and to terrorist organizations such as Islamic State and Al Qaeda. They get more power. If there is change in the regime, then the weaker leader comes into the picture, and there are a number of organizations which are terrorist organizations. They raise their heads. They raise their head. So this is the negative side of the regime change. The dramatic announcement by US of an immediate ceasefire between Israel and Iran is a surprising voice of reason at a time when reason has become the biggest casualty in the West Asia. Let us not forget that Israel too has been hit hard through the Western media has played it down. According to the writer, Israel has also suffered. There have been a lot of collateral damage in the Israel when the Iran used its Fateh missile, its other missiles. There was damage in the Tel Aviv. There were damage in the other towns. Number of civilians were killed. Hospitals were bombarded. Police headquarters was bombarded. So Israel has also suffered in this war. The fact that Iran was ready to hit American bases in the Gulf would have weighed on the US to pressure Israel to stop. How Israel has come under the pressure of United States. Israel did not want to stop at this stage because United States, as I already told you, has number of bases in the West Asia, in Saudi Arabia, in Qatar, United Arab Emirates, in Israel, in Pakistan. They have got their bases. So Iran would have started hitting those bases, and it would have led to the not only collateral damage but to the death of the American soldiers. So therefore, Israel came under pressure of the United States, and this ceasefire could be obtained. Now, Iran would Iran had threatened the world that they will close the Strait of Hormuz. They will exit from the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. Their parliament has decided that we'll go off the NPT. This war has also resulted in the cherished dream of Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu under Mr. Trump to take out Iran's nuclear program. So they have achieved first objective, that Iran is now out of nuclear program. And second aim was to establish Eretz Israel dream, the promised land from Jordan River to Mediterranean Sea. जो मैंने मैप में आपको दिखाया कि जॉर्डन रिवर से लेके मेडिटेरियन सी तक सारी की सारी लैंड जो है इजराइल की हो जाएगी. There will be no Palestinian land. There will be no Palestinian land. This is the new Middle East map, which Mr. Netanyahu waved before the United General Assembly to 193 member states. A map without Gaza or the West Bank. तो सारा का सारा एरिया किसका हो गया? इजराइल का हो गया. उसमें गाजा भी नहीं रहेगा, वेस्ट बैंक भी नहीं रहेगा. वेस्ट बैंक कौन सा इलाका है? वेस्ट बैंक इज दैट पार्ट ऑफ जॉर्डन which was snatched from Jordan in 6-day war between Israel and Jordan in 1967. 1967 में जुलाई अगस्त के महीने में लड़ाई हुई, युद्ध हुआ इजराइल और जॉर्डन का, जिसमें उसने वेस्ट बैंक का हिस्सा काबू में कर लिया. और गाजा हमने पहले ही बोला है, इसमें पैलेस्टीनियन रहते हैं लगभग 20 लाख. ये सारा का सारा जो है, अब पिछले 2 सालों से लड़ाई चल रही है. 7 अक्टूबर आने वाला है जब हमस ने उनके ऊपर अटैक किया था, तब से ये युद्ध चल रहा है. और इसमें आपने देखा कि न केवल उनकी हमस को नुकसान पहुंचाया गया, उनकी सारी बिल्डिंग्स, सारे हॉस्पिटल्स, स्कूल्स, कॉलेजेस, सबको नुकसान पहुंचाया गया. 60,000 के करीब लोग मर चुके हैं, बच्चे घायल हो चुके हैं, स्कूलों के अंदर, कॉलेजेस के अंदर बंद हो चुके हैं, हॉस्पिटल में दवाइयाँ नहीं हैं, खाने को रोटी नहीं है, पीने को पानी नहीं है. और जो एड आ रही थी वर्ल्ड के द्वारा, वो भी जो है बीच बीच में इजराइल ने फायरिंग के दौरान अपने मिसाइल्स के द्वारा उन लोगों को मारा. तो इंटरनेशनल वायलेशन हुआ है, बट हु केयर्स? नोबडी केयर्स. Israel plans to annex them very soon, and certainly before US presidential election in 2026. अगला इलेक्शन 2026 में होना है, उससे पहले पहले वो वेस्ट बैंक भी साफ कर देगा और गाजा भी अपने कब्जे में ले लेगा. तो फ्रॉम जॉर्डन रिवर टू मेडिटेरियन सी सारा का सारा इजराइल हो जाएगा. सारा का सारा क्या हो जाएगा? इजराइल हो जाएगा. अकॉर्डिंग टू टू ऑफ द लीडर्स, बेन गिविर and Bezalel Smotrich, if they are to be believed, then they say that this annexation will happen in this year. वो कह रहे हैं इसी साल ये काम खत्म हो जाएगा. 26 तक इंतजार ही नहीं करेंगे. 26 में तो इलेक्शन होने हैं वापस. All state and non-state actors which can potentially oppose the move have been defeated or chastised. जो भी इसके विरुद्ध काम कर सकता था, हमस कर सकती थी, हिजबुल्लाह कर सकता था, हूदीस कर सकते थे, और साथ में जो है ईरान कर सकता था, सबको उन्होंने पाठ पढ़ा दिया. The question will then boil down to these. After its annexation of Palestinian territory, will Israel continue to be an apartheid state by choice to preserve its Jewishness, where the Palestinian will not enjoy equal citizenship and remain second class citizenship? तो अब सवाल यह है कि जो पैलेस्टीनियन जूइश स्टेट में आ जाएंगे उनको सेकंड क्लास सिटीजन माना जाएगा. सेकंड क्लास सिटीजन क्या होता है? जैसे वोटिंग राइट मत दो आप, नंबर वन. नंबर दो, ज्यादा रिलीजन के ऊपर अपना प्रचार नहीं करेंगे, नंबर टू. नंबर थ्री, जो हमारी लैंग्वेज है वही बोलेंगे, वही लिखेंगे, अपनी लैंग्वेज भूल जाएंगे. दीज आर द वेज एंड मीन्स बाय विच यू प्रैक्टिस द पॉलिसी ऑफ अपार्थाइड. जैसे पहले साउथ अफ्रीका में थी, जब महात्मा गांधी गए थे तो वहां पे ब्रिटिश सरकार पॉलिसी ऑफ अपार्थाइड कर रही थी. उनको कुछ समझते नहीं थे, उनको स्लेव समझती थी. अपनी इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज में ही उनके कोर्ट चलते थे, अपने ही उनके अफसर कोर्ट चलाते थे, उनसे बात भी नहीं करते थे. तो पहले दे वर फेसिंग लॉट मेनी प्रॉब्लम्स. सो सिमिलरली, when this whole territory will become Israeli territory, what will happen to the Palestinian? They will become the second class citizens. Now question is that if we take the land, say Israel takes the Palestinian land, what will happen? The writer is of the opinion that in spite of these 60,000 persons, those who have been killed in Gaza, displaced, face daily threat, starvation, and displacement, while people in the West Bank are driven out of their homes to make way for Jewish settlers, they may be forced to rethink their strategy. उनको जो अपनी स्ट्रेटजी फिर से सोच समझ के बनानी पड़ेगी. Means this event is going to boil for many years to come. What is the India stand? इंडिया का स्टैंड क्या है? In Operation Sindoor, Israel was the country which stood by us. We have port connectivity, that is Chabar port connectivity with Iran. So we are interested in oil from Iran. 40% of our oil is coming from that region. So India's stake in the region are very high. But why India did not say that United States was doing wrong? They hit the targets, nuclear facilities of Iran. Because India has tongue in cheek. Tongue in cheek means हमारी जो टंग है वो दांतों के बीच में फंसी होती है चीक में. वो ज्यादा बोलेगी तो कट जाएगी. We simply call for de-escalation. हमने क्या बोला कि de-escalation करो, लड़ाई मत बढ़ाओ. Giving the same advice to warring party which it received during Operation Sindoor from many parts of the world, asking India and Pakistan to de-escalate. So we have got only one advice, that is de-escalate. Whereas we are not taking sides with Iran or Israel. Earlier we were supporting the two-nation theory, that is Palestinian land should be separate and Israeli land should be separate. But now we are silent. So our foreign policy has also changed. So in nutshell, we have discussed that today the world is at the door of nuclear brinkmanship. and we are facing nuclear not only race but that our nuclear capabilities can be annihilated by the superpower. जैसे आज ईरान के साथ हुआ है, कल को ऐसे इंडिया के साथ भी तो हो सकता है। हम लोग जैसे आपस में लड़ते रहते हैं कि हमने बोला कि पाकिस्तान के पास न्यूक्लियर कैपेबिलिटी है, इंडिया के पास न्यूक्लियर कैपेबिलिटी है। टुमारो द सुपर पावर कम इनटू प्ले एंड दे डिस्ट्रॉय आवर न्यूक्लियर कैपेबिलिटीज। इट कैन हैपन टू अस, or the nuclear capabilities of both the countries can be destroyed. So this was the map which I was talking. This is the part of West Bank. ये जो रेड कलर से आपको दिख रहा है बीन शेप में, दिस इज वेस्ट बैंक। ये वेस्ट बैंक कहां से मिला? ये जॉर्डन से आया है। किसकी टेरिटरी थी? जॉर्डन की। ये इजराइल ने लड़ाई लड़ करके जॉर्डन से कब्जे में कर लिया 1967 में, और तब से यहां पे उसने ज्यूइश बिठा दिए। ईस्ट जेरूसलम को छोड़ के बाकी सारा का सारा जो है ज्यूइश के कब्जे में है। और ये है गाजा सिटी, गाजा स्ट्रिप, जो छोटी सी है। ये 2016 में हमस ने कंट्रोल करना शुरू कर दिया। अब तो हमस को इन्होंने किनारे लगा दिया। तो जो अभी हमने पढ़ा है आर्टिकल, एक सेकंड आर्टिकल, उसमें हमने क्या डिस्कस किया है कि दिस होल एरिया इज गोइंग टू बी द लैंड ऑफ इजराइल। ये सारा का सारा इलाका क्या हो जाएगा इन फ्यूचर? मे बी बाई 2026 दिस विल बिकम इजराइल एंड द पैलेस्टीनियन विल बिकम सेकंड क्लास सिटीजन इन द स्टेट ऑफ इजराइल। गॉट माई पॉइंट? बाकी सारा समझ में आ गया आपको? चलो गुड। एनी क्वेश्चंस? ओके देन, थैंक यू, विल कंक्लूड।
एक क्वेश्चन है।
बोलो बोलो।
जैसे साउथ अफ्रीका ने अपने न्यूक्लियर जो वेपन्स थे वो डिसआर्म या डिसमेंटल जो भी होता है वो कर
हम्म
दिए थे। तो
हम्म
ये पावर सर सबके पास होती है?
हाँ, सबके पास है। अपना अपना पीसफुल तरीके से यूज करो। डोंट मैन्युफैक्चर न्यूक्लियर वेपन्स, एटॉमिक बॉम्ब्स। भाई न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी तो पीसफुल यूज कर लो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। आप यूरेनियम एनरिचमेंट फैसिलिटी बढ़ाते जाते हो, तो लास्टली आपके पास एटॉमिक कैपेबिलिटी आ जाती है। अब ईरान के पास 60% यूरेनियम एनरिचमेंट कैपेबिलिटी आ गई थी, तो इसलिए इन सबको लगा, इंटरनेशनल एटॉमिक एनर्जी एजेंसी को भी लगा, यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स को भी लगा कि ये तो जो है इसराइल के ऊपर भी छोड़ देगा तो और नुकसान करेगा, और हमारे ऊपर भी छोड़ सकता है, मिडिल ईस्ट में कहीं पे भी छोड़ सकता है, वेस्ट एशिया में। तो दिस वाज द थ्रेट इन देयर माइंड। सो ड्यू टू दिस थ्रेट मे बी रियल और मे बी परसीव्ड, they have cut Iran to the size. और चलो, अच्छी बात है फिर।